Good morning, everybody, for this great webinar. I'm about to present to you the Profometer PM8000 Pro. That's a really great product. Can say disruption. And you can ask questions at the end of the webinar. Don't hesitate to write your question now, and I will be happy to answer to you. So let me present myself. I'm head of product management of Screen Eagle infrastructure segment. So I'm in charge of my team of all the solutions for the construction industry, which is an industry which needs powerful solution and to bring the digital age as well. That's very important. So let's start. First, I will introduce you the global stake. What's the problem today and why we address today the Profometer PM8000? And you will see it's really a big issue globally. Then I will be glad to describe you the solution that you bring now to the construction industry. We will see the technology briefly. What is that? And what is the product offer if you want to purchase and have it in your business. So first, we have to know that most of the aging buildings and bridges around us are really, really in bad shape. And there is a percentage, actually, can be discussed, but it's around this number, 12% up to even 15%. So one building or bridge around you is suffering. Suffering means first, the rebars are not protected enough sufficiently, which is really a problem. As you know, the concrete cover is one of the first pillar, to against the corrosion of rebars. And as soon as the rebars start to corrode, you lose tremendously, exponentially the structural resistance. And we know as well that many assets, buildings and bridges, do not contain the right amount of steel reinforcement for several reasons. Sometimes the code has changed. We underestimate in the past many issues, many loads, earthquakes, winds, new trucks, passing on the bridge, or the building changing the operation. And this is another issue in that. So here, 12% is a symbolic number, but it's important to you to notice that around you when you drive or when you walk in the street. I'm pretty sure that you can, point out, corroded rebars or, some deformation, strange things that really should alert and warn everybody. So that's the first issue that we have, for the existing construction. Now, let's talk about the new ones. It's not because today in 2022, at the digital age, everything is fine. No, we still have a huge problem, huge problem in the birth stage. We know that for several reasons. Let's not, accuse the contractor. That will be unfair. We know that the specs are not complied. And here, as a matter of fact, approximately 2 billion tons of new concrete are not covered sufficiently with steel rebars. So it means that if you're, for example, in an aggressive environment, you must have, let's say, 50 or 60 millimeter of protection concrete cover. If you start, with 40 or 45 or even 35, that's a big shortage, big handicap that you start the life. And you won't be surprised actually to see problems arising, coming up after 5 or 10 years. That's a huge problem. So here, if I summarize, you have many problems on the existing assets, in terms of rebar diameters, also rebar cover, and still today, at the birth stage, we don't protect. We are not sure. We don't check thoroughly, the protection of rebars. And I can, give you some example of which is the really last stage, and unfortunately fatalities like the Miami Champlain Towers, which result in a horrible accident small wind, during the night, and we know that this aggressive environment in Miami attacks the different rebars. The structural resistance was not there, and the collapse, happened. So now, how really to assess all those aging construction, and to make sure the new one has the quality? Here, we have the pleasure to introduce here the Profometer PM8000 Pro cover meter for the digital age. We have here the unrivaled precision. I will explain to you why, as well as superior ergonomics, and also a non-matched productivity. Because you, in construction industry, you need really to assess as soon as possible, as fast as possible, in a precise way, and also in a comfortable way, to have the right ergonomics to ensure that your job is done properly. So digital, I will explain to you why. You saw the tablet, and you can see it here. You see the sensor, and I'm sure you would appreciate. So first, for the precision, let's be honest. Many cover meter does not have, do not have the right precision. And here we are really plus 20% more precise with the sophisticated data interpolation and intelligent auto mode, which eliminates a lot of error margin existing, unfortunately, in many cover meters in the market. And 20% looks like this, okay, maybe not, maybe yes. Yeah, but can you imagine that 20%? First, you can spend money on the repair because you overestimate or underestimate, the concrete cover. So you spend money for nothing. The money is not allocated in the right project. Well, this is also sad. The worst case is if you overestimate the cover. 10 towers is an example. Okay, why not? But if you do that, you actually don't repair where it's needed. So that's why the precision is really important. And in this aspect, you need reliable solutions for that. And now, when you spend many hours, to scan, you need to do it with a good productivity. I will explain how we can do that with our solution. But you need also a good sensor in terms of ergonomics, wireless, no cables bothering you, and 6 here, 190 grams, which is really very lightweight, not 2 kilos or 1.5 kilos, really impeding the work that you're doing there, the really valuable inspection. And the productivity here, that's really the digital value here that you can have, and it's 10 times faster compared to any solution. You can have instant availability of data analytics and visualization in the field. And in the meantime, you synchronize and collaborate with anyone. Because as you know, all Screen Eagle app and here Profometer app that I will present in details after, very valuable software, is free. So anyone can download it and work with you in parallel. It's a lot of efficiency. Let's have a look at the history. Profometer is a very established brand, for professional in the industry. As a good cover meter, we've been in the market since 1973. And as you see, many generations now, we reached the 8th one, the digital age, as we said, the valuable one. And we will have the 50th anniversary next year and get ready, of course, for continuous upgrades on the software. That's the advantage to have a software app on cloud. We can improve continuously. You don't need to exchange your product. It's not a software, trapped in a black box device. So PM8000 Pro works very simply. You have the sensor, as I said, very compact, lightweight, ergonomics, good ergonomics, and you measure with that. You have a Bluetooth connection for wireless, and you have your tablet computer, which is the center of everything. When I say that you visualize your analytics, everything in the field, and you can work also in a Screen Eagle workspace collaboration platform. That's something that you can access from any computer, tablet, from anywhere at any time. You have all your measurement files archived there, and you can really collaborate with that with anyone. Now, let's really analyze the market today, how people are working. for a durability structure assessment, which is really a key, mission to really assess and then decide to repair or not the bridge or the building. That's today how it is done. First, you prepare it, and preparation is really painful today. You need to gather all documents, as-built drawings, reports on reinforced concrete, compressive strength or rebars, diameters or whatever calculation nodes. So you bring that in the field, quite painful, especially if it's paper. You start to collect data with, unfortunately, sensors with low resolution, no big picture, small screen, cables, and you just bet that your data are good quality, and then you go to the office. You sit down there, another day or week of data processing. You juggle between Excel, pen, any photography software or Visual Basic that you develop in your company, just to get additional analytics, like heat maps or statistics, conclusive statistics. And this is really, really time consuming. That's today how it's done, not unified, a lot of error, and sometimes you need to return to the site again. This is not possible today, and we deserve better in construction industry. Now, today, actually, with the PM app, you solve, most of the pain is solved here. Field to client. Why? First preparation, you bring your iPad computer. So all your drawings, thousands of drawings, whatever, you can bring it in your computer and with your fingers point out and locate what you want to inspect. Look at some documents, to be sure where you want to inspect. So the preparation start to be really good now with PM app. And I will show you how you can really prepare better. But here, everything is in your computer in the field, so you don't waste time. The scanning part, you have a great resolution in the field, high quality data that you can have full picture. You don't need to go to the office after to report, because all analytics, all deliverables are produced in the field with few swipe fingers. Because of the superb here, thanks to the computing power of the iPad, our software can really deliver, and I will detail you all the good deliverables that you can work on and give to your final client. It can be the asset owner or engineering firm, depends on your business. So you see here, you're really faster and less errors, and I would say better also value for your customer. Now let's divide into PM8000 has the advantage to be two-in-one applications. I explain here briefly. So first you have the scan measurement, which is the must, to assess any bridge or building, to map it. So what you need to do for a good durability and structural resistance assessment and a good quality control for new construction, you need to map concrete cover, rebar spacing, and diameter values. You need as well to produce conclusive statistics, not only standard statistics. And I will show you, you can actually, with our software, give you smart statistics, helping you to decide, for instance, to repair or not the construction, the building or the bridge, which is an important decision, and we want to help you to decide. And of course, you have great heat maps. Heat maps is the most universal way to communicate with anyone, with any stakeholder in the construction industry. And the advantage here is that you can attach metadata, what we call metadata, in digital, such as pictures and geolocation. And this is the scanning part here that you see with the encoder and the wheels. And then you have the spot measurement. Spot measurement is quite used for instance, by contractors. They like to have a brief quality control on the wall or the beam or column. They need somehow to locate the rebar, to also detect some metals, like dowels, for instance. There are many types of metals. Of course, rebars is the most common in the concrete. And we see many contractors actually, they want also traceability. They don't want to work with low plastic cover, very fragile cover meter. They want also to have traceability, who was the operator, elementary statistics to have an idea on the wall if it's good or not. First overview that you can see here. And also pictures and geolocation. So PM8000 can, provide both applications. So if you have the Pro version, you can scan completely and get all the deliverables, and you can use it as well by getting off the cart, as you see here, and start to spot. And many like contractors, they like, excellent cover meters, and they want traceability. Then they would go for the PM8000, which is, made only for spot measurement, working as well both with Profometer app. So let's now really talk about the features and the benefits for your industry. So first, the visualization, we really give here the full picture with area scan and line scan. I will detail each view. So first, the area scan made it very simple because we have the intuitive on-site analysis of the concrete cover and rebar diameter. We can benefit from the high resolution zoom, and we introduce really the great threshold slider here with the thumb or any finger. You can actually calibrate, customize the threshold. The red, for instance, is of course the worst one, below the specified, concrete cover to resist against the aggressive environment. But you can also add some colors, and we see that in many developed countries or in new markets. We found many people, using also the over quality layer, because when you have too much concrete, it's also not good. First, it can be awkward and block some operation or working life. Also, spoiling effect. You can have many negative effects, and that's here the possibility to really intuitively customize as you want. And of course, here you see first the second layer of rebars. You can, of course, just scan one direction as you want. That's very important here to pack it in an area scan, because then you can have the full statistic and deliverables behind. The heat map issued from the area scan is great, really intuitive, and we believe that's the way to go now. If you want to talk to your client, asset owner, engineering firm to take a decision, to estimate the budget as well. We see many repair specialists, they use heat maps, to quantify the budget, repair budget. So here an example, here you see the red part, water maybe was too accumulated there, that's an example. And you see that the covers start to decrease. It can be a birth defect, or it can be with the life of the asset, every decade, every 5 years, to start to lose a lot of concrete cover. Even in aggressive environment, every year you lose some half of centimeter. That's possible. The heat map is really the way to go here, and very quickly, processed in the field with your iPad from the area scan as soon as it's finished, as soon as you collect the data. Line scan, we made it also very intuitive, very colorful, enjoying, to measure with the threshold slider. Same, you use the color coding, and we made sure to have this distance overview. You can scan up to 1 kilometer if you want. You can really see in advance, or you want to go back to certain area. Imagine you're not sure, you want to be to know where are the bad spots, areas. And then you can swipe to the single strand view, which is a great tool here, because that's an eddy current cover meter. You want to know, for instance, that's very helpful to verify the quality of the data collected. Sometimes you can also identify a singular metal object. That's the way to go. And again, you can use the threshold slider here on the left, that you can actually, it's aligned with all views. So you don't need to do it for every view. It's completely aligned real time. Here you consolidate your analysis with the single strand view. So now let's go to analytics. Analytics are really great if you offer more than the traditional statistic, which is also good. But here we made sure to help you first to configure it as you want and very quickly. I'll explain why with some very intelligent manner. and feature, and you have also the advanced statistics, and you can share and export as you want. Let's see that. So first, you have, 1 second. Then you have the advanced statistics. I want to introduce you. You will like it. First, I want to introduce you the Deutscher Beton- und Bautechnikverein. This was developed by German stakeholders. They really developed that. Great tool actually, because the problem is when you inspect a structure, when you inspect a structure, you have always red here. You can see it. The red part. You really need actually to decide. Okay, if I have many red spots, what should I do? Should I repair or not? A standard statistic will never give you the answer. And here you can see the percentile, 5, 10%. Why I showed you that? Because with the calculation of this percentile, you have 5% and 10%. So that's all the 5% below the threshold that you fixed here. So for instance, here 30 millimeter, if you're in a, let's say, not aggressive environment, you want to be sure that you don't have too much red. Here we give you exactly the answer to repair or not with the test decision. So here, if it's green and you have your threshold here, actually the red part is not too big to trigger the repair. With just the color code, we actually give you decision-making, recommendation. Really, we help you with better decisions. That's something that actually many engineering firms, inspection services, or testing inspection, certification companies really like it because it's intuitive, it's done automatically, and they just have to screenshot to attach to the report. That's great, and then you can actually directly give a recommendation to the asset owner to repair or not. Also, the configuration. If you want to configure it, that's something very painful today with many solutions. If you want, for instance, to change many parameters, like the rebar diameters, you just saw that the neighboring rebar correction effect is more than you thought. You can do that actually in the field very quickly with just by changing it on the settings, and you reprocess everything automatically. The area scan, the line scan, signal strength view, in 1 second, half of second, it's already processed. So you really are efficient and you're really flexible. You have a flexible configuration to fit your measurement needs. Also, it's very easy if you have a big area scan to switch from one line to one line. As you see here on the bottom left, very intuitive as well. With your finger, you can switch to any line scan you want, or if you want to pack it on one direction, that's possible. We introduce here for the first time, okay, in the Profometer family, the auto mode, which also will be upgraded in the future. But here we offer you the gift of the auto rebar spacing, because so I'm civil engineer. I think many of you knows in a beam or a column or in many piece of concrete, reinforced concrete, the rebar spacing is not the same everywhere. Yes, you have some areas where more or less it's the same, but many areas you don't find the same rebar spacing. And when you're in congested areas, I mean below 10 centimeters or 100 millimeter spacing, you have the neighboring rebar effect getting in. So what we offer here is simple. Don't think too much about rebar spacing of the first layer. We do it for you. We ask the sensor to collect the data. We have the perfect, precise spacing around each rebar and considering the algorithm. And if you still prefer the manual entry, no problem, you can do it. But We believe, and it's clear, when the rebar spacing is not the same, it's more precise to take the right one on the left, on the right of the rebar. And then here, if you activate it, the auto mode rebar spacing you want, it's really comfortable for you because then you have the full picture with all the rebar spacing shown there. So here I showed you is very quickly that you can switch to any views here. Area scan, you switch to one line scan if you're interested. Then you want signal strength view, no problem, you swipe. Then you want the standard statistics. You can also go to dBV statistics, by clicking above very quickly in the field. Very productive as well. Now, if you want to, you have many companies, they work in parallel. If you have someone in the office or in another place wants to check, the measurement file, you can send the measurement file through URL. So someone can process it. Again, there is no license. Profometer app is free. That's something you should know. You can have 1,000 Profometer app. If you have 1,000 tablets in your company, no problem. You can exchange a measurement file and process, verify each other in the field in real time. That's great. You don't waste time in that. You can as well export the CSV. We see some people still want, the CSV file. You can have it, no problem, in a very good format. You have the snapshot because our software already processes for you the deliverables like the advanced statistics, to repair or not decision. You have the heat map. You can exchange those valuable snapshots very easily on WhatsApp, emails, whatever platform do you have. And you can, of course, add all the data of the logbook, like the pictures, some notes, who was there, the serial number, the operator. So you export result and logbook for traceable results here. The workspace synchronized automatically. That's your account. When you go to workspace, you find all your measurement files, not only for Profometer app, but actually any screening app that you have already. That's a great tool for archiving, and you never lose your measurement. Let's take a look at the sensor. We really improved from the old generation. We first the wireless, it's up to 4 meters. You don't have disturbing cables. You have a really robust card for site conditions, really more stables with the notch wheels and high traction wheel surface. We really, we've been inspired by our GP series, so GPR probes that we have with the GP app. We really follow the same path to guarantee you good stability on the concrete. We have a really large ground clearance because, as you know, concrete is always rough. So overall, we really enhance the precisions. We bring reliability and increase efficiency here to keep your data safe here. You can also have connections with telescopic rod, if you want to scan vertical or ceiling or slab surfaces. Now, if you want to switch and get off the cart, like transformers, you can, of course, spot measuring. You have the standalone pattern here with the OLED display, very good for the easy to read for daylight. Everything the same, the LED are the same, very easy to indicate rebars. Very compact, compared to the existing generation of Profometer, and very Swiss quality design actually. The battery, you don't need to buy lithium batteries, very expensive with 8 weeks delivery. And we know that, we understand you guys, when also you have to fly or when your batteries are empty, you need to source it. No problem here. It's very simple AA batteries that you can buy anywhere. No problem. You don't have to order from us. You can buy from any grocery or supermarket, rechargeable or not. And you have 8 hours of battery life. That's a good working day to collect data and to process it in the field. So we really here offer you the cost-effective value for the batteries. We also give intelligence to the standalone one. You have also the neighboring rebar correction. And as I mentioned in the beginning, most of the cover meters, they are not precise and can trigger up to 20%. We are 20% more precise. And this is not good, as I said, it can trigger repair when it's not necessary, and it can also not trigger repair where it's necessary. That's a big risk, big liability for inspectors in general or engineers. Here, just to show you, when you're using Spot, very, very, very simple, very intuitive. Now, let's take a look back, at the softwares. If you have the Pro version, I showed you in the beginning, Pro version can do scan and spot measurement. So you can see here, you have the spot data import from the standalone. You have the live line scan measuring, area scan, great intelligent features like auto rebar spacing that I showed you, very precise. Or you can also input, the manual rebar spacing. You have the first, second layer neighboring rebar correction, which is really the must, when you are in congested areas, less than 10 centimeter spacing. You have the standard statistic and the great DBV advanced statistics, where you have the decision, shall we repair or not? Good recommendation. You have the line scan, with a colorful one, concrete cover, rebar diameter, and the signal strength view to understand what's going on there, especially if you have singular cases. It's good to have a good metal detection tool understanding. Here we have also the area scan, heat map, and augmented reality to see to superimpose, your heat map in the real world. That's a great tool. We know that many of you spend many office hours just to have this augmented reality effect, which is artificial, but here we offer the real one, thanks to the computing power of the iPad. You have all the logbook, all the data sharing, exporting, and synchronization that you want. Now, if you want to spot, you have the Profometer app, so limited to spot measurement, so not the PM8000 Pro. Here also great, you have the spot data import, you have also the first layer neighboring rebar correction, the standard statistics, and all the juicy logbook to really, and as I said, many contractors, they like that. Even if it's spot, it doesn't mean that you don't need to trace and understand your data. Now, if you talk about, the sensor specification, we have great precision here, a different technology, high contrast LED screen, wireless, as I said, and we improved a lot in encoder precision to have really the most precise rebar location. That's really important. Thanks to the iPad computing power, you can scan as much as you want, up to 1 kilometer or up to 10,000 square meters for area scan. And again, very lightweight sensor and easy removable flight safe batteries. Really no lithium, no expensive one. In terms of standards, and again, I will never stop repeating, the concrete cover can only be assessed precisely and rebar diameter as well with eddy current technology and cover meters. And we know that the British standards 1881 was the first to introduce that. We have many now guidelines, as I show you in Germany. We have also Singapore starting that. Many countries now standardize or give guidelines for that. You should not use other technology like GPR because GPR doesn't know the permittivity of concrete. You have a huge, delta margin. We cannot rely on that. We cannot activate repair plan or follow the health, the durability condition of structures with other technology than eddy current here. Now we complete here our solutions in imaging. For some of you, maybe you don't know, but we have the process GPR, which are really best solutions to image the structure, the reinforcement. Great one. As I said, you have a good imaging, very deep, 80 centimeters, but the distance are not precise like the eddy current because of, permittivity of concrete is always changing. Dry concrete, humid concrete makes it, different. But that's the way to go if you want to image. See if you have a second rebar layer, go to process GPR. Now, if you want really a good condition assessment, durability, and structural resistance, You go with Profometer to have a very good heat map, you know, up to 18 centimeters, that the first layer to be attacked by an aggressive environment, you must go for Profometer, and I showed you before. And for thickness, quality of concrete and defects, you switch to ultrasound technology and the great Pandit array as well here. All of those solutions are with software in the iPad as well, and with great sensor. So that's here the three, we call it the three musketeers. In our ecosystem here, you can see the three sensors that I developed, you know, Pandit. You have the Pandit imaging system that you show here. You have also the Impactical. If you want more for short, you know, check in terms of thickness or quality or defect, you have the PI, but in terms of imaging, you switch to Pandit. You have the GPR, I showed you, and you see now the Profometer PM8000, the data capture portable sensor. The inspection tech is here. It's really complete. You can also collaborate in workspace for data management. And I will show you inspect for the preparation, reporting, and you know the complete overview of your asset. That's the data capture. And for some expert, if you want to go deeper, you know, in terms of knowledge, we have data insights. Now, again, if you have a bridge or a building with all the problems that you see on the left and on the right, like a doctor, you know, doctor will look for bleeding, coughing, pain. That's exactly that. You're the doctor from your iPad, you know, computer, with your powerful software that you see here. Now we have PM app, that's the last baby, launched last week. PD, GP, PI, and OS, Schmidt, and of course inspect. You see all those problems, symptoms, you have to track, map, and report. And you can do that from your iPad computer. Now, let's get back to what I developed in the beginning on the durability assessment. How we can help more in preparation. PM app is already giving you good value, but now if you really want to work efficiently, you need to introduce inspect in that. Why? Because first you need to organize your project, you need to organize all your assets, and instead of having the PDF drawing in iPad, which is already good, it's not paper, you know, you can upload it in Inspect and start to organize all your tasks around these drawings, all the spots you want to, areas that you want to inspect. You can dispatch your team with geolocation. That's the way to go with Inspect. You can add all measurements you want from different sensors. And of course, the last one, Profometer PM8000 Pro, you can collaborate and you can generate your report in one click and share all with your customers and stakeholders. That's really a great value that you can bring now with all the inspection tech, screening inspection tech in concrete, with Inspect, PM app, and all the apps that I presented before. For some of you, maybe you don't know eddy current. It's good to remind you, eddy current technology, how it is. So inside our cover meter, we have coils. That's the thing that you see above the concrete. That's transmitting coils in the probe. They are charged by current and they generate a primary magnetic field. This primary magnetic field, you know, induce eddy currents on the rebars or any metallic object. Of course, it works with any metal. And then you have a secondary magnetic field in the opposite direction. The resulting change of voltage, it's the way to go here. So that's the physics. But after you need all the good precision, the algorithm, and a good software to give you the full value. Now, if you want to purchase a PM8000 Pro, which is the full configuration for scan, measurement, and spot, here I show you the great augmented reality that you can present to your clients. We offer that for 6,900 francs. For this price, you have the sensor lifetime, so it works, you know, lifetime with the OLED screen here, and you have 5 years prepaid for the Profometer app, you get access to all your cloud data and all the features for this striking price here. You know, we want to democratize, we want to bridge, to give you, to provide you the digital cover meter in the market. Now, after 5 years, if you want to extend, if you still, the sensor is in good shape, no problem, you can extend. If you want to buy a new one, up to you, no problem. And if you decide to stop, you have still the standalone sensor here, which works again lifetime, but only in spot measurement. All the value, for scan and good durability assessment, quality control assessment, structural resistance here in a software Profometer app. Now, if you're not inspector, if you're not control office, testing inspection services or engineering firm, you're more a contractor, for instance, to spot measuring or diagnostic guy for building a bridge, you can go with the Profometer PM8000, which is the way to go for the spot only, not the scan. You can, of course, go with the sensor for 3,300 Swiss francs here, the sensor, and the access, of course, to the Profometer app for 5 years. You have access to elementary statistics, which is very important for traceability also, and a logbook with the pictures. You can extend or buy a new one after 5 years, and this is for lifetime, the sensor. And again, the Pro in spot measurement can also cover it. You just get off the cart. Both, you have access to working collaboration platform here. Sorry, I missed that. Workspace is free of charge. Anyone can create an account, it's for free. And again, the Profometer app is free, no license. Everything is here is free. The only thing that you pay is the way to, process and collect the data, to enter, to pull out the data in the Profometer app. That's here the great democratic game, of Screen Eagle technology. The sensor kit is the same for Profometer PM8000 Pro or Profometer PM8000. Why? Because we want to give any possibility of upgrade. So the cart is always with you here. So the kit is always the same for anyone. You can see here the battery and the charger. We have also accessories which are important. It depends on you guys, how you want to scan. Of course, the rod with the tablet holder, if you want to scan the ceiling, the wall quite high, or the slab as a big area scan, like a parking, for instance. You can also use the universal harness if you want to have your free hands. And some people likes to work with the iPad in one hand. Depends on you guys, as you want. That's full flexible here. So now, if you talk about legacy, just to remind you that today, yesterday before the launch, we had, the Profometer 6 series, which covers only the scan measurement here. And we have the Profoscope and Profoscope Plus, both which cover the spot measurement. Now we have the digital age. We have the PM8000 Pro covering scan and spot, which is an advantage with a striking price again. And the Profoscope, Profoscope Plus view is being replaced now by PM8000 for the spot measurement. So I will reply to your question. Just before here, you can find all my colleagues if you want to contact them. Of course, you will receive as well a form to fill if you want more details, an offer, or any question. You're welcome. Here you find from any region, all our colleagues if you want to contact them, or myself here. I'm here. Don't hesitate. I like to exchange with you guys. Expert or technician, inspector, engineer, whatever, contractors. So now let's look at the question. Don't hesitate to. First question, area scan measurement. What are the distance of the skyline? Very good question. So it's very, very intuitive with the software. You can actually choose from 5 centimeters to I would say 100 meters if you want. It's very, very flexible. You choose. If you want an area scan with 1 meter, spacing between line scan, up to you. If you want 5 centimeters, you can do it. More work, I would say. And if you want 50 meters, you can also do it. That's really, we use here the power of the iPad. The area scan is very, very flexible here in that matter. Another question, is Profometer able to detect corrosion or rate of corrosion of rebars? That's a good question. I'm pretty sure you know the Profometer corrosion, which is still available, which is half cell potential. So in general, you have three, in the corrosion issue, you have three approach. You need to check the concrete cover. You need to check the corrosion likelihood with half cell potential. And this is concrete cover, this is PM8000 that you see now. And half cell potential is Profometer corrosion that you can find in our website, for instance. And the third one is the resistivity, permeability of the concrete. Do you have a really, I would say, permeable concrete which let all the carbonation passing and all the corrosion starting behind? So you need to tackle the three angles. So now the rate of corrosion, we hear you guys. That's why now we go to the digital age, because we want to use the iPad computing power. So follow up in the next month. That's something we want to develop more and more with the Profometer app. That's a long journey. Today we offer a lot, big value to you guys. You saw the heat map, the advanced statistics. And if you need Profometer app in our ecosystem, we will bring you more and more in the next years. So if that's your question, yes, the final destination will be the rate of corrosion. But here, PM8000 is all about mapping concrete covers, the protection of rebars. So let's see. One question on, it would be good if PM8000 data could be exported on top of GPR. Yes, that's something, and again, if you are in our platform, that's something which shall come, may come in the future. But again, that's a very good question, because you point out that GPR is an excellent tool for imaging how many rebars I see, how many layers, if I see the bottom rebars, but I cannot rely on GPR because GPR is not precise. You don't have the permittivity. So Profometer is the way to go. And then, yes, you're right, combining both is the excellent and professional way to go, by combining GPR tech, so GP8000 for instance, and PM8000. Other question I'm reading. Please write your question and answer if you have while I'm reading. I can answer to you. Yes, I have many questions on carbonation. Yes, that's something we also will consider in the future. But again, here that's a big step that we did together. You're also the part, because we heard you in terms of feedback. So that's the first step in this corrosion aspect. And today we bring you the good solution concrete cover. Okay. I think you can send any question in the future from now. I think I replied to most of them, and happy to hear you guys. Happy to see you using our solution. Exchange as well. We can really exchange the measurement files. Don't hesitate to contact me. We improve together. Today you have a good solution, and I hope you can bring that now to your customers or asset owners, because as I mentioned in the beginning, all the structures are aging, and that's a huge problem, and you need really to address the solution. And we do it together. We want to protect the good one. So thank you very much. Don't hesitate to contact the related here people on your region, and I'm available for any questions. No problem. Thank you very much, and see you soon.